Hello, welcome back to Monsters of the Mic, episode 22. I hope you all had a great new year. We took a break last week, so we're back to kind of talk about the last 2 weeks, the Bears' season overall, and then the playoffs. Right, exciting. We actually had playoff football back in Chicago since 2020.
Yes, we do. We clinched the number two seed. It's
Right.
exciting. Finished the season 11-6. So,
Yeah. And,
uh,
and, and what's our reward, which we'll touch on later? We have to pay the Green Bay Packers in the wild card on, but we'll get on that a little bit later, right? We'll get on that discussion a little bit later. I'm jumping the horn. But so yeah, so I think going back into it, obviously, right? There's been 2 games since we've last kind of had an episode here, right? Obviously they're kind of, I don't want to say limping into the playoffs. I think maybe more like hobbling, right? Just because they earned a 2-game losing streak, but I think if I'm looking at this right, like.
mhm.
You had a good shootout loss to the 49ers. I mean, once again, they were in it to the end. They could have won the game on the last play.
I yeah, they could have. And it was honestly just a little bit of dysfunction at the line of scrimmage and on the last play. Like they were all out of sorts.
Right. Right.
I I agree. I thought it was a good loss. I thought it was a good loss for the offense. I did not think it
Yes.
was good for the defense.
Correct.
Although, like, we are aware that the defense, and this is why I thought it was going to be a shootout because I knew, like, just knowing how the 49ers are, like,
Right.
following them the last couple of years, like, they were going to take advantage of everything. Um,
Absolutely. And they did it without George Kittle too, which really pissed me off, right? That tight end,
mhm.
Tungus, who was on the Bears team at one point, was whooping our ass. And I was like, this is really irritating. Brock Purdy looked like Lamar Jackson out there. It was really effing
Y-
irritating. Like, he
Yeah,
had 5 total touchdowns, 303 passing yards. He had 28 rushing yards, but he had 2 touchdowns right on the field. McCaffrey obviously is McCaffrey.
McCaffrey,
He
he's
does what
yeah,
he does. He do what he do, right? Like he do what he do, right? Like that's. But then right there, rookie
but
Ricky
that's the
Pearsall tore us up. Like I'm sitting there being like,
but that's
yeah,
the
like
problem. Yeah,
yeah,
you gotta stop if you're not gonna stop McCaffrey, like you gotta stop like at least the passing game, like
right,
there's a bunch of times that they had Purdy like bottled up
yeah.
and he would make like one or two moves and he'd just like juke a defender and just,
And they did a really good job at like kind of shutting down Jawan Jennings. Sure, he had that last, the 30-yard touchdown to take the lead. You know what I mean? But like he only had 2 catches, 42 yards, right? But like all the other, like I said, Tungus 7 for 60, Purcell's 5 for 85, right? Like even McCaffrey 4 for 41. It's like, dude, like.
mhm.
You got to stop that bleeding. You know what I mean? Like, you pick your poison, right? Let McCaffrey beat you, or stop the passing game, right? And this was without George Kittle. George Kittle was there. I think it would have been, I think, a little bit uglier, honestly. I think George Kittle would have had like a
Oh yeah.
200 yard game. So, how good he is. But you're right. Let's not focus on the negative a little bit, right? We can touch on that defense. I think the defense is with leaky, but offense, right? Caleb, 330 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 sacks, 0 turnovers, 100 rating. Great, 18 yards with his legs, but like he kept the game in there. He went toe to toe with, like you said. I know you love Kyle Shanahan. I think I know you talk about him highly, right?
Yep.
As a wizard, right? Offensively, and they went toe to toe, right? 38-42, and they had, once again, if there wasn't dysfunction at the line, I think at the end of the day, right? They had a really good shot to win that game, but obviously, right? Guy was in Caleb's face within a second and a half, right? So Caleb had to
Yeah.
do
You
his
just gotta
stuff.
throw it. Yeah, you
Right.
just
It
gotta
blew
throw it
up.
up. Yeah.
So, but 38 points, right? And yes, we know that the Niners defense was leaky, right? Because they have Frederick out and all these other players out. But like, this was a game where you called it. Like the offense needs to show up because that's what it was going to be. It was going to be a shootout, and the offense stepped
Mhm.
up, right? Like over 100 yards rushing on there, right? Total of 500, almost close to 500 all-purpose yards, right? As an offense, they did great. Caleb looked good, right? He did what he did
Mhm.
all game. This wasn't like I'm going to wait till the fourth quarter, which I was telling you. I'm like, I need him to do this, right? Yes, it was a leaky defense. Like obviously, I need him to do that with like good defenses, obviously, right? But I'm
You
happy where we're going to say the game. It
yeah,
was it was a good loss to me.
when it's a bad defense, you gotta take advantage. And he did that. Like this is what we expected. Um And it's like it's promising at least for the future,
Correct.
like especially like Luther Burden. Holy
Oh,
shit.
dude.
Gee, he had like one critical drop, but that was it. That to me that was the one because he was like 8 of 9 or something like that. Eight of
Yeah.
nine, 138 yards, one touchdown, 35. his longest catch was 35 yards.
Right,
Like,
right. And I know I sounded crazy. I don't know if I brought this up in a podcast. I can't remember if I did an episode or I spoke about it outside right to you and your brother and everybody else was like the offense. I know this sounds psychotic, right? The wide receivers and the spread of the ball has been better without Rome there.
that's
Bro, when Rome was there, we didn't have Loveland, Burden, right? Even Janae Walker, right, getting those balls. But now Luther Burden, right? Loveland's getting the ball. Yes, I know DJ was a little non-existent against that 49ers game, right? And same thing with the Lions game. But before that, it was DJ. I feel like when Rome is there, right, like Caleb tries to force the ball sometimes to Rome, right? But I feel like when Rome is not there, and more importantly, right, obviously I know some guys still drop the ball, but Rome has dropped a lot of balls this year, and I feel like without Rome being there and dropping the ball, it has allowed Caleb to get into a little rhythm, which then it allows him to get everybody else involved. I know it
I
sounds crazy, but
I need to like go back and like review each game, like every game without Rome, and then every
mhm.
game with Rome,
And look,
and then I'll
and I
come
know like
back
he
to
was
you.
hurt. I don't
Yeah,
want to say it right, like he was hurt, but like Loveland's taken off
yeah. No,
with Rome has been gone.
yeah, I think Loveland kind of just, I think his success is based on he's starting to just trust him more because
Sure.
he's been a part of the offense for, I don't know, like what has it been, like 2 months? Because he got hurt for that little bit, like
No,
that
yeah,
small
he's been
stretch.
out for a while, and I think you're right. I think like what's his name? Ben Johnson said at the beginning, he's like, people got to earn their game. They got to earn the trust. They got to earn it, right? And
Hmm.
Loveland, time and time, has earned that shit, man. That guy is a grown
Like
ass man, bro. As a
every
rookie,
it's interesting, dude, because like every time like they need a play, he seems to be the
he's
guy
there.
that he goes, yeah, he's just
Yeah.
always making a play.
And he has for
I'm
sure
like,
hands, right? Like yes, I know he had
mhm.
to get a drop against the Lions, right? Where like it was ruled an incomplete. It was a fumble. They reviewed it. It was incomplete,
But
right? Like,
he
but he
still
makes those
almost caught
catches.
it. He
He
still
makes those
almost,
catches, right?
yeah.
Like,
Like,
and I understand why they took him at 10, right? Like, I know I was iffy, and people were like, and I never bought into like, oh, Bears fucked up taking Loveland over Warren. They were
mm-mm.
very, very close, and look what happened, right? For example, yes, Warren unfortunately lost his quarterback, right? But he still had Philip Rivers. Philip Rivers is still decent, right? His he went decline and since what week 7, week 8, Loveland has been top 3, top 5 in every tight end category, right? That's been possible. Like
Hmm.
that is huge. So keep involving him. You're right, Luther Burden, right? Obviously, I know he had a great game against the Niners. Kind of, I mean, the offense went kind of cold, right, against Detroit, which we'll touch on in a second, right? But no, we can
Yeah.
go to that Detroit game too. Like once again, that's what I was scared of. Get it, divisional game, right? But like against the 49ers game, you saw, oh, we're ready to go right prime time this game. Do I think right the players were somewhat disinterested in playing this game because there wasn't really anything on the line, right? Because they were going to be a 2, 3 seed anyway. I don't think they cared who they're going to play, right? I think sure, but like that offense in the fucking first half was absolutely atrocious, bro.
I can't, so I have a different perspective. I can't say it was atrocious. I do think they need to sustain drives, but they only had two shots to do it. Like they only had two drives in the first half.
That's fair. But that goes into right. I know only scored 19 points, right? They did a bend don't break, but that's where
N-
I think going into like tomorrow's game, Saturday's game as well, because they did this, against us the first time, the second time in Chicago is you got to make third down stops. You have to fucking
Yeah,
make third down stops on
that
defense because
that
you're
was
off.
the yeah,
Go
go
ahead, go
ahead.
ahead.
No, I thought that was the critical issue against the Lions. Like anytime we had them in like a third and long, or like
Hmm.
there was just like a a big play that they came up with, Amon Ra coming across the middle,
Dude, I'm on
or a
every third
flag.
down was just, and I think, our friend brought it up in the chat, right? I don't think, right, the Bears really wanted to show their full hand of what their defense is going to be in the playoffs. You know what I
That's
mean?
yeah.
I think that's also true too, right? I think it's just like, okay, we know we're going to get beat, but who gives a F if we're going to keep getting beat, right? I think Ben Johnson, all he really wanted was effort, right? I
He
think that's
said, yeah, no, yeah, he mentioned it in the press conference as well. Like it was a very easy game plan
right,
from
right.
what they mentioned.
And I think, I heard Colston Loveless say this too. It's just like, after that game, he told everybody, he's like, if you're not going to play 5 weeks of like playoff football, like if you're not thinking we're gonna play 5 weeks to playoff football. He's like, just book your ticket now and leave.
Hmm.
And he's right. Like
He's right. Yeah.
he's right. Like, and I get like like the Bears lost, and Caleb looked kind of bad the first half, but obviously, right, Caleb Magic the second half, right, ended up with 212, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Is the new Bears all time right season leader in passing yards. Awesome, right? First time. I don't care that it took 17 games. We're in the 17-game era now. Get the fuck over it, right? Like it was
Hmm.
14 games, it was 12 games before, then it was 14, and then it was 16, and this was 17. And guess what? They're thinking about going to 18. So get the fuck over it, right? Like that is
Yeah.
just where we're at. And yes, he didn't break 4,000, which I know was the goal. Irritating, but still ended up with 3,928 or 3,000, whatever it was, 58. He was right there,
He was like
right?
58 yards away. Yeah.
Right.
Like I'm
And
not.
and
Yeah.
in the middle of the season, right? You and I agreed, like Ben Johnson turned to his running game, right? So like a lot of it was lost, right, through just Ben Johnson lying heavy on the running game. But anyway, going back to that Detroit game, yeah, I think the game plan was easy, right? Just to go out there, and I think this game more than ever, I believe, was more for the offense.
Hmm.
I think that it was the defense, right? Because the defense today is like whatever. He's like, I think he wants Caleb and that offense to be ready because his divisional opponent. And guess what? You're playing a divisional opponent too, right? The Packers, and both games, right, went down to the wire. Both games were one-score games, right? This, that, and the other. Like, it's gonna be, which we'll touch on too. I think it's gonna be another smash mouth game of NFC North old school football. But
Mm.
I just I didn't like the effort like that. I know Caleb threw that. I think he overthrew it or in that interception, but like DJ got clipped too. But there was no effort from DJ. It's like, bro, like at least go there and try to like tip it or like
Like
move the
do something.
ball.
Yeah.
Right.
I I agree. Like I didn't like the effort, but I mean, can I really get mad? I did. I I can't really get mad. I mean, it was an easy game plan. Like Detroit wanted this one probably way more than we wanted it.
Oh, and they were
Um,
copying a celebration every single time they got a first down. I'm like, bro, like at the end of the day, go ahead and copy us. You're going to
yeah.
Mexico. We're staying here in the playoffs. Like, coolio.
Yeah. I I just the only thing I wanted to see was like at least the execution be okay, right?
Yeah.
Like I didn't want to see like false starts, like any penalties on offense, any dumb penalties. Like we gotta the operation needs to be clean, and
Sure.
that was a part that I like. It didn't sit well with me afterwards, and it was slightly concerning. But
Yeah.
hopefully they
But
clean it up this
yeah,
week.
and I did hear something. Like I said, right, going back into what I was kind of saying, so like I think the effort wasn't there, but like
Hmm.
people, like listening to people in the corner and stuff like that, and in the locker room and stuff like that. And I get it, right? Like this is the Ben Johnson, right, locker room he's trying to build. It's like, hey, like I understand we have a playoff lock, like this, that, and the other. It doesn't matter who you guys want to play. We get a home playoff game, right? But like we have a chance to have two playoff home games, right? If we
Hmm.
win, we win on Saturday. We get to host one more playoff game guaranteed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think that was Ben's game plan too. It's like, okay, like yeah, like if we lock the 2 seed, great. We have to play the Packers, right? Like, sure, tough divisional game, but once again, I think Ben is that type of coach where he's trying to build in like we're not scared of anybody,
Hmm.
right? We are not scared of anybody, right? Like anybody's gonna come into our house is gonna get 100%, right? And I think right whether it was the 49ers or right the Packers or even the Rams per se,
The
like
Rams. Yeah.
I don't think Ben was gonna care, but Ben was more like, hey, like if we get this 2 seed. Like we get this. And the Eagles, I know rested all their players, but the Eagles are the Eagles. They're Super Bowl champs. They can do it from anywhere. Like they don't give up. They've done it,
Yeah,
right? They
they've
don't
done it
care.
already.
They've done it, right?
They have that. Yeah.
On the road, right? Whether it's at home, right? Like they've done it. So like 100%, like I took your hand, Sirianni, like it was a smart move. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
But yeah, I think you're right. I think, more I looked at it, I think when I was upset, it's just like, like great, like we had a great game against the 49ers, a tough loss, and now, like, you know what I mean? But I'm like, at the end of the day, like, this game, sure, it matters for, like, pride purposes. And I know for Ben, it was probably more just, like, beating Dan Campbell. Right.
Hmm.
I know that was probably a little bit in there, too, whether he wants to admit it or not. You know what I mean?
Probably.
Um,
Yeah.
but, like, yeah, like 1916, right? They didn't put a 52 burger on us, which was nice, right? Like,
Mm.
much more improved,
I wonder,
scoreline.
yeah. No, I mean, I wonder how much like at the end of the game in the fourth quarter, Ben was like, all right, let me actually get into my play sheet and like
Yeah. Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
let's go
yeah.
score just to,
Let's go score and let's fuck around, right? Like I
yeah.
really, and I think I was mad because I'm just like I want to keep seeing that Caleb improve, right? Like that operation improve, improve, improve. That's like I wanted. And once again, Caleb proved, hey, I got to come from the back, from behind. Don't worry about it. I got
Hmm.
us. We're good, right? Two drives, 2-point conversions. Can we talk about Cole Kmet's catch? That was just an
That
outstanding
was
catch
awesome. I can't
with
believe he held on to that,
dude
man.
with a huge hit. That was absolutely amazing, right? Funny thing about Cole Kmet, he said he hasn't talked to his sister all Packers weeks and essentially this week because I think her sister's dating one of the Packers linebackers.
Yeah, Lucas Van Ness. Yeah.
Yeah, so like he hasn't talked. I thought that was hilarious, and it's so funny how it runs deep because he's an Arlington Heights kid, so he's a Bears guy, right? So like he
Mhm.
understands like the magnitude of this game. So I think that's absolutely hilarious.
That's funny.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this game, I thought the Lions game, like that, it was kind of the tale of two halves, right? Like, first half offense, get two drives, can't really do much with, you got limited possessions, but that was because the Lions offense held the ball for God knows how
Right,
long. Um,
right, right.
and then in the second half, we started getting stops. Um, we just got to make the most of every possession after that. Like, your
Correct. And
your
it's and,
defense.
and it's and it's hard to get into a rhythm when it's like that, right? Like and I
Mhm.
know Rome is probably gonna play, you know what I mean, against Green Bay, but like I think they've been a limited snap count. I think right now, because right now it's like okay, first game back, don't want to push, you know, that stress fracture, right? Because it's still a stress fracture at the end of the day, right? Like, but
Mhm.
also like I think Caleb and Ben like what they have right now. That doesn't mean right they're gonna trade Rome and move away from him. Not nothing like that. But I think the rhythm is there. Yes, that first half was horrible. The second half was vintage Caleb, right? Comes out, bang bang, two long drives. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
should Ben have gone for it on 4th and 4 instead of punting it? I really truly think he should have gone for it. I don't
That's
care.
so risky though. Like,
I understand, but bro, the defense couldn't stop a damn nosebleed, right? And like there's that thing where like that lip thing where he's like, I should have gone for it, or like people have trends that it's just awful. Whatever. At the end of the day, now if it's 4th and 4, you're going for it. You know what I mean? Like
I
moving forward. But at the end of the day, like you said, I think there was some false starts, stuff like that, right? But I think at the end of the day, like they played a decent game operationally. I just wish the intensity was there. But you know what? I'm not worried about it because home game, division game. This is it, right? You get to prove, right? People have been talking to you all year that you've been a fluke, a fluke, a fluke. Yes, the Packers have hurt players. So do the Bears, right? Like I don't want to hear the excuses. Now it's playoff football, right? The Packers have been here the last 3 years. This
yep.
is the Bears' first year, right? With a lot of these players, some of these players, sure, John Tooney, right? Jonah Jackson, right? All these other guys have had playoff experiences from other places, but a lot of our core, this is your first game, right?
Yeah.
So I don't care about these injuries. The Packers are gonna be ready, which I think we can just do that. But like I think I just wanted the Bears to be like, all right, let's have some fire under our ass, get things operationally right, because there's not going to be room for error on Saturday.
Yeah,
Zero room for that.
after that game you can't, yeah, you have no room for that anymore. I get
Right.
it. I just think, like every game is different. And I
Sure.
think this game, I think everybody is gonna lock in, and I think they know, especially because we've played this team like 3 times in 6 weeks, like,
Right.
which is insane
Right.
because I don't think my heart can take it anymore.
Uh,
Um,
uh,
like I feel like they know what they're about to get into, and this
right.
is definitely gonna be like it's gonna be an all-time game. Like this
It's gonna be
is
a dogfight. I really think it's gonna be a dogfight, right? I think at the end of the day, it's gonna be that type of smash mouth football that I've said every single game is gonna be essentially right. Like and it's been a smash mouth type of football, right? Yes, the first game was 21-28, but points have come at a premium, right? Like it's really tough, right?
that was a tough
And
game. Yeah, that
right.
was.
Um, but yeah, you know what I mean. It's gonna be an interesting game. I think it's gonna be interesting, right? And I think we'll touch on that in a second, right? I think before that, I think I just want to touch on the Bears season overall, right? I went back and
Hmm?
did some like research, right? I think you predicted it. I think you said 12-5 in the win the division. I think you said that, right? I think at the end of the day, right? I went back and I said 11-6 in wild card, right? So hey, we won the division. We're 11-6. Put us together.
It's
We hit it on the head, right?
we
Like
hit
it's
it on the
awesome,
head. Yeah,
right? Right. So like great, right? Like we predicted playoffs in the first year. We
yeah.
were right on top of that, right? So I think overall, yes, I know a lot of people say, oh, one win games, this, that, and the other. It's like, look at the Kansas City Chiefs. Last year, they lost one score game. They were like 8-1. This year, they were like 1-7 on one score games. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? So, and look, like, yes, it makes or breaks teams. Same thing with the Minnesota Vikings, right? Hey, by the way, I called the Minnesota Vikings going 5-0 because O'Donnell doesn't like losing in December. They went 5-0 again in December, back to back
That's
years.
insane.
Just want to say that I called that out, that they
That's
were going to
insane.
play to the end, right? But anywho, I think, 11-6. You had a really good season, right? Like you won a division. First time you won a division since
Mhm.
2018. Huge, huge, right? Like accomplishment. Ben Johnson, Caleb has taken positive steps forward, massive, massive steps forward. I don't care what anybody says. Like he's still inconsistent. Yes, he needs to clean up things. I'm not saying that, right? But like the growth is there, and that's what I think you and I discussed.
Yeah, that was something we discussed like every week, and that's why I was preaching patience for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because
Mm-hmm.
every game you could see like he was getting better. Like, and I know we started 0-2, and everybody was like, panicking, like same old Bears, da da da
Mm-hmm.
da.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, but in those two games, like even in those first two games, like you could see the growth between the first game and the second game. And it
Absolutely.
was it was only a matter of time before like he started to hit his stride. I think he started to hit his stride probably after the Bengals game,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because that was when they got into that shootout, and then that's really when like the true magic started to happen because he had that comeback against the Giants, and then uh, what else? What else happened? There's another game we came back. I don't know, but
Oh, the
that
Raiders game. I mean, we played Commanders game. We have so many damn fucking comebacks this
Raiders,
year.
if you want to count the Vikings, but like
Right.
that's what I mean, man. Like I think they not just him growing as a quarterback, but like him and Ben understanding each other and
Yes.
like knowing the relationship and the way that they need to
Mm-hmm.
communicate, the way that they communicate on game day,
Yeah.
before practice, after practice, like all that stuff matters, these guys didn't know each other and they've never like
Yeah. Yeah.
had that in-game feel. So like
Agreed. And look at some of these statistics, right? I'm going to read out, right? Do you want me to start with Caleb or do you want me to start with the team's offense?
uh you can start with let's start with Caleb.
Right. So Caleb, right?
Yeah,
So what?
yeah,
3,942 passing yards, right? That was seventh among QBs this year,
that's
right?
really good.
27 passing touchdowns, sixth among, right, QBs. Seven interceptions, tied 12. So you break those down, those three things. Can you name the last baby Bears? Probably Jay Cutler that has been in those categories.
It had to be
It wasn't
Josh
Mitch.
McCown. Josh,
Maybe I don't know.
I don't
Maybe
know.
who the F knows, right? But right, you saw the steady progression, right? Past 27 passing touchdowns, right? Like more than last year, seven more than last year, right? Interceptions. I think he threw what, six last year, threw seven this year, right?
Like
About the
one
same, right?
more,
But he's
give
a
or take.
gunslinger
Yeah.
at the end of the day. Like that's gonna happen, right? Improving the passing yards, right? Now, and if right, Bears all time season record, right, holder, right?
Mm.
And that is so important that you have this. And I saw a crazy stat. Caleb lost an NFL high, right? 404 passing yards due to receivers drops this year.
Oh yeah, I did see that. I did
Right?
see
You
that one.
add that,
And
and
he
I get it,
gets the
right?
4,000.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. I get it, right? Like you can argue that, oh well, if he made some other throws, yes, argument
Yeah.
both side, right? But if the receivers did his job, because a lot of those balls were catchable, he breaks 4,000 yards.
Mm,
So it is there, right? He amazing, a great growth, 388 rushing yards, three rushing touchdowns. He can move, extend plays with his legs, reduce the amount of sacks. Granted, Poles, awesome job building the offensive line, but like
mm.
the growth is there.
Yeah. I do want to say this is all I think he had a completion percentage of like 58% or something like
Right,
that.
58.1. Yeah, 58.1.
Yeah. So like just imagine when because he didn't really clean it up until I would say December.
Sure,
That
sure.
was really when like his completion percentage started to get better. And like you
Yeah.
could see like he's in full command of the offense now. Like I
Mm-hmm.
think if you get a full season of that, he easily hits like 63, 65, somewhere around there.
Right, right. My thing, also what you said, right? He's playing his best clean football in December.
Hmm.
That's when you want to play, right? And
Yeah.
yes, turnover against the Packers too, right? Lose that game. Guess what? 2 weeks later, throws a dime, the best pass of his career to win the game. So tough titties. Tomato, tomato balances out, right? You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So like, yes, I think he's commanding that offense, and I know it's going to be a tough one against Green Bay, but he has to command it, right? That's which we'll touch in a second. He needs to command it. He needs to do what he does in that fourth quarter, all that, right? He reduced the sacks, right? Everything is I think it was like improved in pretty much all the efficiency metrics from 2004 24 as his rookie to now. Like he has
Hmm.
done good, and I think right a lot of people want to sit here and be like, well, he was the first overall pick, he's generational, he should be playing better, yada yada yada. Once again, I go back to Peyton Manning. Go look at his stats his first two couple of seasons, right? Like I don't want to hear it. Peyton Manning was generational, right? And number one overall pick. Go look at his statistics those first couple of years. He still
Hmm.
has the NFL rookie interceptions for a season, right? So I don't want to hear it, right? Like the growth is there. Now, year three, second year of the offense, I want to see that jump. Obviously, right, we'll touch on that when we get to our offseason stuff. But from year one to year two, I am satisfied with what he has done because
Yeah.
I see there because there's a lot more. And the inconsistencies and incompletions, that can be cleaned up.
Yeah. That's all stuff that it can only be cleaned up in the off season. Like another year under his belt with Ben Johnson. They're both tied to the hip
Mhm.
now. Like you don't have to worry
Mhm.
about somebody snagging him. This like it's an ideal, you could call it marriage for the next, we'll say 5 years for
At
now.
least, right? At least, right? At least 4 to 5 years. You got to give them that, right? And it works beautifully. And then, right? More importantly, this offseason now with Loveland, he's not hurt. You're gonna
Hmm.
incorporate more of that, right? All right. Are you gonna add more weapons, right? I know there's rumors of DJ possibly being traded. Blah 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 blah. Like, who knows? But right now, you have your core, and you've had
Hmm.
one good season, 11-6, division champions, right? And look at this improvement on the team stats, right? I went back and I looked at like it was our after draft reactions, right? I went back and looked at it. Almost like this offense should right average around anywhere from 24 to 25 points. I was almost there. It was 25.9. They were ninth in the NFL. I almost hit it, right? They were right there. I was like,
Nice.
with Ben Johnson and the additions they had, they should skew 25. And they were top 10 in scoring offense, right? They were sixth in total yards with 396.2. They were third in the NFL with rushing with 144. 10th with passing, 225, right? Third down conversions with seven, right? Interceptions thrown seven. That was one of the lowest. So, like, the offense took the step we all wanted to in year two.
Hmm.
And I don't want
But,
anybody to see. Go look at the stats. I know that it didn't look pretty at times, and you can see like a lot of it came from like crappy defenses and coming back. I don't care. They've won 11 games. Look at the damn stats.
yeah, I wouldn't say crappy defenses either. I think we played some pretty tough teams. Like,
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Ja-
Down the stretch, absolutely, absolutely.
yeah. Um, yeah, it doesn't surprise me at all. Like that's the Ben Johnson effect. Like you can see the coach having an effect. Um, yeah, that does not surprise me at all.
Yeah,
Um,
everything's top 10 in categories, man. Like, what do we want? Like, this is the first
like
time in
this
Bears
is
history, like that I can recall, right?
hmm
Maybe since the Trestman, Jay Cutler era, right? That yeah, I think that was like, I think the highest they were ranked was like 12th or 14th. We're ranked top 10 in every effing category of total offense. Like, why are we bitching?
yeah. That's why I'm saying like the offense is good. I've
Yes.
known that probably for I've known it for a while. It's really the defense that
Oh, you don't even want to
where
get
I
into
have
those
my
categories,
concerns.
man. Those
Yeah, that's
categories were
I don't even
23rd in
want to.
points, right?
Yeah,
29 in yards allowed, 27 in rushing, and 22nd
first
in passing. Hey,
first in takeaways.
first in takeaways and first in
So
interceptions with 23. Shout out to Kevin Byer, interception king this year. But like,
that's
uh,
something that's the only reason why I'm like that's the takeaways aren't something that you could really replicate season over season. You could
correct.
you could hover, but you won't ever like duplicate that kind of production.
Right, right,
So
right,
hence the reason why going into the off season, you need to put all your focus onto the defense. Whatever Dennis Allen needs, get him get
right.
him whatever he needs. Like
And
just
I want to say this too, right? I know the defense has been decimated. The offense has
mhm.
been pretty fucking healthy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sure, Roman's been out the first couple games, right? Loveland too, but like for the most part, that offensive line, Caleb, everybody else has been healthy. right?
Yeah. Other than the
People,
left tackle situation, yeah,
sure,
everybody's
sure.
kind of
Everybody's been pretty healthy. The defense has been decimated with injuries all over the damn place.
yeah.
And I think Dennis Allen has worked magic. Yes, it was based on interceptions and turnovers, right? But they did all of that without much pressure. So, like, give him some pass rushers, right, this offseason, right? Do some stuff there that will change. I promise you, right? He is a mastermind, right? Defensively, and we've seen it throughout the NFL, right? But like Kyler Gordon, right, has been gone all season, right? All of our corners, we had Nashawn Wright. God bless him, he's been fantastic this season, right? C.J.
Mm,
Gardner-Johnson saying they filled these shoes, but at one point we were our third or fourth string linebackers at one point in one game, right? Like
hmm
I, he's doing what we're
Like
doing, right?
you
But
yeah,
like,
you can't ask more of him. Like he's making a 5-star meal with like
right,
2-star ingredients. Like
right, right, right.
with with fucking canned food. Like this it's
Correct.
crazy.
It's
Yeah.
crazy, you know what I mean? And then so like I'm not worried about that, but like I think getting Kyler Gordon in his practice game, if he does play right, he'll be on limited snaps. But honestly, I'll be straight up honest with you, he's gonna be better in the slot than anybody we have right now. I'm just saying right now because Christian Watson, if no one's there at the slot, is going to eat us alive. I'm just we'll get in that in the
I
preview, in my opinion, right? But like the defense needs to show up, and I think well the atmosphere is going to be crazy, right? Like both games has gone down, like you know what I mean. Like last game they were there was really emotional that comeback win, like it's setting up. And one thing I want to touch on maybe before we kind of switch over to like talking about that game, obviously, right? If you want to throw any points about the season two, is I know people are like, oh, they only went 2-4 in the division. Okay, other than that 150 burger, every single game was one score games.
yeah. I that's no, I agree. Like we've been in every game other than that one that we got blown like really blown out by Detroit.
Yeah,
You could argue well the Ravens game. I would say we were still in that one too. But
yeah,
like I think I think this season was kind of just like I understand everybody's frustration in the beginning because
sure,
you just want the team to be good. But I know like you know, looking into next season, like you want them to be good again, but you just have to live in the moment. At least I do. As a fan, I live in the moment. Whatever
Per-
happens next season, it happens.
yeah, great. You said that. Perfect example. Look at the Commanders this year.
Exactly.
NFC Championship, first year, right, Jaden Daniels, and you're 5-12, and you're losing both your offensive and defensive coordinator this offseason.
Yeah. They're a prisoner of their success. And
Right.
and that's what I think our situation is a little different because we have one, the head coach who is an offensive coordinator at
Sure.
the same times. And then I would say we have the quarterback who
Sure.
has improved this season and he looks like he could be a superstar for like the next 10 years. So
Absolutely.
to me, those were the two questions that I really wanted answered this season. And anything else that came with it, like if we make it to the playoffs, awesome. If
Right?
we if we win a game in the playoffs, awesome.
Awesome.
We,
Right, and obviously, right, we want this game against Green Bay because it's Green Bay. Like, listen, at the end of the day, I'm going to be super fucking mad if we lose on Saturday, obviously, right? Because it is Green Bay, right? Like, you know what I mean? But, like, if after I cool off and once the Green Bay gets eliminated from the playoffs, I can sit there and look back and be like, yeah, 11-6, made won a division, got into the playoffs, was the 2 seed, right? Like, everyone wants to sit here and talk about Drake May. Hey, guess what? They ended up the 2 seed, too.
mhm. It's
So at the
same,
end of the day,
yeah,
they ended up at the same fucking location in the playoffs. So guess what? Tough titties, everyone. Tough titties. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So you know what I mean? Even though Vrabel has done a fantastic job over there, right? And Drake May is a baller, no disrespect. I think he's great. But anywho,
yeah.
people
By
are
the
saying like,
way,
oh, did they go ahead. Go ahead.
no, I was gonna say, by the way, the two head coaches that we thought were gonna we're gonna
Turn it
have
around.
success
Turn it around,
are the
right?
two
And,
that
and they're
have
both two
success.
seeds.
Yeah. I I still don't understand why Tennessee like fired Vrabel, but
I think
whatever.
it's because I think it's Vrabel is that like I feel the Patriots are perfect for him because I think Vrabel comes from like that place of like
Uh yeah, like he
tradition,
played there. Yeah.
right? But not even that, like old school smash mouth kind of football, right? Like I mean, yes, Drake May's passing and stuff like that, but Brady had good running backs throughout his career, right? He had Corey
hmm
Dillon, he had all these, you know, um, The guy who won the MVP. I can't. Why can't I remember his name in the Super Bowl? I think he won. Is
They
it
had LeGarrette Blunt.
LeGarrette Blount? But when they came in the comeback,
I know who you're talking about.
it's slipping my
Something
mind.
White.
Is it? Yeah, it's White. Yeah, last name is White. Yeah, that's right. So I mean, like like he had good running backs that made plays like that, right? You know what I mean? So like Vrabel
Sony
did a great
Michelle.
job. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, right. So like Vrabel did a great job there, and then you look at right, yeah, Ben Johnson, right, the other guy that we talked about, one of those two guys, and I think right they went the way of the offense because like Caleb, I get that right. That they've tried the old school traditional defensive guy, right, this, that, and the other, and sure it's worked, but they wanted to switch to corner, and I'm all for it. We're both in the playoffs, right? So
Mhm.
yeah, I think you're right. I think at the end of the season when we all step in and look back at it, right, like we're gonna sit there and be like, it was a successful season. It was a bumpy heart attack season, but nonetheless, it was a successful season.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Like I said, to me, I think we've answered the two more important
Yes,
questions.
yes.
After the season, I think it's more of a question of like, okay, now do it again.
Do it again.
And
The improvement, right? And I think that's where I go back in
yeah.
the beginning of the episode, right? Where I was just like, that kind of right, that fire, that kind of like urgency in that last game. Ben Johnson's here 1 year and he's already been a winning coach, right? DJ Moore is the first time in his career he's won 10 games,
Hmm.
right? A lot of these guys have not tasted a winning season in forever,
Much less
right?
the playoffs.
Well,
Yeah.
slips the playoffs. So it's just like, yo, like, all right, Ben Johnson built it. He turned his culture around. He got these guys buying in, and that's why I was so frustrated for that in that game against Detroit. It's like, hey, like, this isn't the point of like, hey, like, we need to win this game or we're not going to win, right? Like, or we're not going to be in. Like, obviously, I think the urgency would have been there and stuff like that, but it's just like we need to build a winning culture. And this is a division game. We need to go into that playoff, right? Because let's go into that preview with the Packers, right? Let's kind of switch gears. And I think at the end of the day, we both agree, fucking awesome season. We're really
Yeah.
happy as fans. Yes, I know I've had my explosive tantrum rants because this is who I am. I'm just an emotional fan. But at the end of the day, once I cool off, I sit there and be like, yeah, cool. At the end of the day, like this is where we want to be. And you're right, this is where we want to be.
Yeah.
But for example, going into this preview for the Packers game, right? Fuck us playing having to play the third time. Like you're right, it's a heart attack. I know I'm staying home. I think I'm gonna stay home and just because if they lose, I gotta go in my room and just slumber and
You
just
could just like, yeah.
yeah, it's probably shed a tear, right, and get upset and cry, right. But if I win, I get to sit here and cause chaos in my apartment, right, and give my dog a heart attack. But anyway, looking at both these teams, right? Bears are on 2 game losing streak. The Packers on a 3 game losing streak, right? They're both kind of just coming in, right? But the Packers they didn't play their starters last week, which was smart. I think LaFleur did a great job on that because a lot of those guys were injured. So that's
Mhm.
that's you know what I mean, important. So I'm looking at this game and being like, all right, they split 1-1. Both games come down to the last play, the goddamn strike game, right? Like the Bears pulled a magic hat, one of the all-time wins in this rivalry, right? But like, all right. Ben Johnson, you said that you like to beat Matt LaFleur twice a year. Here's your chance to beat him a second time.
This is your shot. Yeah. I think this is a huge game. Like it's a huge game just because it is a division rival and
That's not a
and
division rival. It's the
it's the
rival.
division rival that you have not beaten. And this is like this is truly a game where it's like a passing of the torch, so to speak. Because this is big brother versus little brother. And you
Mm-hmm.
got to show them, man, like this
Mm-hmm.
is the game where you show them
Right.
like that you're here and you're not fucking around. Like
Right. You're
you're
not.
you're gonna be here for the next 5, 10 years, whatever.
Go back to what Paul said when he first came here. He wants to take the North and never give it up. Right? Hey, this is your damn chance.
This is
Take
it.
the
This is where it
North and
starts.
never give it up. Like, you talk about being LaFleur twice a year, beat his ass the second time, right? You talk about taking the North, go out there, on Saturday night, prime time on Amazon. Everybody's gonna be effing watching this game, and you know it. Go out there and take care of business. Take care of and don't let this have to be a game where you come back. Take it from the fucking start, man. Like,
Yeah,
yes, Jordan Love's playing, and Jordan Love has been good. I saw a crazy stat, and I'm a person of coincidence. Both Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers won their first Super Bowl at 27 as a third season starting quarterback, right?
yeah,
And I sit there and be like, great, fucking fantastic, right? You know what I
yeah.
mean? But it's just like, hey, fuck all that sign, fuck all that noise. Go there and take care of business. Be the Bears, right? And I think you and I hit on the head. It's gonna be another smash mouth game going back and forth, right? I don't see it at a blowout. I do not see this at a blowout because the last 4 games have been right single score games down to the wire.
It's 100% gonna be a close. It's gonna be a close game. I I think the keys on I would say both sides. Like if you're Green Bay attacking us and you're trying to beat us, they're they're definitely gonna do what they did the last game. Just
Right.
long drives. They're gonna do what Detroit did and what they did. Long
Yes.
drives, keep Caleb on the bench, keep that offense
Right.
on the bench,
Run the ball, run the ball,
run
run
the
the ball.
ball.
Throw it the fucking
Where
slot on third downs because the Bears cannot stop. Right, the third down slot
yeah,
passes. Right, like, and
wear
you're gonna
that
keep
defense out. Yeah, and
right,
just
and you're gonna keep it off. And I think on the Bears side, right, it's like when you get that ball back, sure, Caleb's been in the rhythm, but bro, start running again. Last year, Ben Johnson, when the Lions played the Commanders were one of the top five worst rushing defenses, and he did not run the ball constantly against that team. And he decided to pass, and they lost.
that's actually that's a good point because the last actually the last 4 weeks they've been highest in in pass rate, right? So they haven't been running the ball as much. I think they had like 16 attempts
Right,
in the last game,
right.
16 versus or 17 versus the Packers. Like you got to change that. Like and maybe it's like a maybe because the run isn't working as efficiently now, so like it could be
Hmm.
that too. Um,
Hmm.
but you have Caleb, use Caleb's legs, like that's a
Right,
weapon.
right. Like you have to right attack that rushing. You have to establish that dominance, right? Because guess what? Like Michael Parsons isn't there once again, right? And
Hmm.
yes, Green Bay stepped up in that second game. But you and I talk about this, and I know a lot of fans don't want to like talk about it, right? Like division games fucking matter. Yes, obviously, right. From time to time, there are blowouts in divisions. It happens. You play each other so much, like it happens, and once in
Hmm.
a while. But like division games matter, and you saw right both games against these guys, right? Both games against Minnesota, one game against the Lions, right? Like every single game has gone down to the wire, right? Same thing in the last two games against Green Bay. Sure, Knicks picked it off, but guess what? Caleb threw a beautiful dime on Knicks, right? So like karma, right? It's 1-1, and like you're at home, you're at fucking home. There is right no excuse to come out, and in my opinion, right, what they've done in the past is lay a fucking dud.
It's a different coaching staff, Costa.
I
Come
know,
on. Like you
I
gotta
agree, and I think they're gonna be ready. They're gonna be flying right. Like Ben Johnson knows this, right? I think all the players know this, right? Like, and I think Caleb too, right? Because we know Caleb is our, is our petty mother effer, right? Like I love him that he's petty, right? He
he
feeds off it, bro. This is your game, dog. This is your game. This is hey, you win this game. It's I have arrived.
hmm
I have arrived in this league.
Yeah.
And against division opponent, right? Who you're 2-2 against, it could easily be 0-4. It could easily be 4-0, right? Like it's
Hmm.
just what it is. But the last time, right, you played the Packers in the playoffs, right? They ended up beating you to go to the Super Bowl that year, right? And they won. It sucks.
Hence hence why I say this is probably the passing this is shaping up to be like a passing of the torch
Hmm.
if they win this game.
Yeah,
Like because because of all the history, like because of everything that's happened. Like go beat them. Like
go beat them.
go
Go
beat
beat them.
them. Like I don't believe in coincidences. I don't know about you. And I think that's why we got the number 2 seed, and that's why we're playing the Packers. So
I think it's
maybe
just fate. I think it's just fate. I think this year,
maybe
this year's all
yeah.
fate. I think you know what I mean. But yeah, it's just go out there, play your game, right? Jordan Love's gonna do what Jordan Love does, right? Like he loves to be blitzed. And I know Dennis Allen loves to blitz, but like you gotta play a little bit zone this time, man. Like Jordan Love thrives on the blitz.
Mhm.
He does. Like that's what the tape shows, right?
Very
That's what
very
that says,
successful. Yeah.
right? Play some zone, right? Disguise some stuff. Like Dennis Allen, you know what I mean? And I think that's why it's so crucial that Kylan Gordon plays this game. I think it's so crucial, right? Because I think the matchups are going to be right. I think you're right. The matchups are establish the run game, sustain drives on offense, right? Defense get off on third downs, right? Not every obviously you're not going to do it every third down, but like make some stops, right?
Yeah.
Make some stops, get the offensive chances, right? Like I think you're right. I think the last time we played them, we only had 3 offensive possessions the first half. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's why I said yeah, they took the exact same Detroit had the exact same game plan against
Right,
us. Like
right.
and it's going to continue
And
throughout
look
the
in the second
playoffs.
half, right? The defense started making plays and stuff like that. Caleb started getting the rhythm, and boom, we ended up making a magical comeback and winning that game, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's what we need. So I think Kyler needs to be there. Because my big thing is right is the court is going to be the slot matchups. right? It's going to be
Those are the ones that kill us. Yeah.
Jalen Reed, Christian Watson from the slot, right? Even Devontae Wakes, right? Like those are going to be the big game for me, offensively for the Packers and defensively for the Bears, right? But yeah, it's going to be a tough game, and like I think you're right. It's faith still, and I was talking to my other buddy. I was just like, wow, we had a great season, successful season. When do we get rewarded? It's playing the fucking Packers in the first round of the playoffs, man. Like, god damn it, you know what
It's
I
just meant
mean?
to be. Yeah.
Meant to be, but I think right. I think this one's 50-50 for me, man. Like I know like the other games you called it right. Like we lose in Green, we're gonna lose in Green Bay. We're gonna win home, right? You called it right in the head, right?
Yeah.
I thought we were gonna win both, and we had position to win both, right? That's where I was all season. But like
Yeah.
I know Green Bay's favored by a point and a half, but I'm sitting there being like, if it wasn't for the seventh seed, right, in the wild card, the Green Bay misses the playoffs the last 4 years because
Mm,
they've been the seventh seed the last 3 years, right? Granted, the Bears in 2020 got lucky with because that was the first year they had that, and that's really the reason why they went to the playoffs. But
mm,
like these teams are evenly matched, and you said that all year. So like I give you kudos for that, Mondo. Like you said all year, the Bears and Packers were a lot closer than a lot of people thought.
mm. And they especially now, like without Micah, like they look like the exact same defense, similar offenses. I would say they're a little bit more explosive on offense, but with their wide receiver injuries, like that
Yes.
kind of dips a little bit.
Yeah.
And then with Tucker Kraft being out, like that definitely hurts them. Um,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I I do have the Bears winning this game, by the
Ugh.
way. Like, if you want to hear my take, I do. And the only reason that I do, mostly because I think Ben and Caleb, I was watching the press conference and like
Uh,
they just have this demeanor about them, like where like they got this like no tolerance, no BS,
yeah.
like kind
Yeah.
of attitude. And I
Yeah.
just
They're all business. All
Yeah,
business.
all business. We're getting Rome back. I think he's going to play a crucial role. Um, Loveland's kind of had a breakout. So is Luther. DJ, he caught that one bomb against them. Like,
DJ had a good game against. He stepped up against the second game against Green Bay. My boy had a
yeah,
great game. Almost broke 100 yards. Had a game-winning touchdown. Right, like I think 6 catches, whatever it was. And he got hit. Remember, that dirty play right at the beginning of the game, right? Like around the beginning
yeah.
of the game. So like, great game. But you're right. I think right. I think the Bears sneak this by, but it's gonna come down to the fourth quarter. It's Are you gonna make those plays? And more importantly, just Ben, don't get too cute.
Mhm.
You don't need to
And
get cute in this game.
and that's why he got too cute in the home game here. And I think he's going to learn from that and be like, you know what? Let's just go take care of business.
Yeah,
And like I do think he's gonna take the points whenever it's there, right?
I
So
think yeah,
like field
yeah.
goals, they're gonna kick field goals. Um, but once it hits the fourth quarter, I think that's when he's gonna be a little more aggressive in like
Mm-hmm.
going for it on
Mm-hmm.
fourth down. Um, but yeah, like trust me, I don't think they want the I don't think Green Bay wants the ball in Caleb's hands with 2 minutes to go
No, because he's shown that he
because
can do it, right? So
because
like,
he can pull it off. Yeah.
yeah, and I think this is gonna be, another field goal game, another 3-point game. You know what I mean? I have another
Hmm.
smash penalty. I have it 23-20. The Bears like, but once again, it can easily be 23-20 the other guys, right? So like, I
Yeah.
think the Bears sneak by. I think they didn't show their hand week 18, as we've discussed a little bit. I don't think they showed their hand. I think they just want to
Hmm.
go out there, show face, right? Like this, that, and the other. Because Ben's once again building that culture, being like, hey, like, let's just go out there, run some offense, right? Get ready, all these things. But yeah,
Yeah.
boys, buckle up, play your game, because then you never know. You can play the Panthers or the Rams or the 49ers. Oh, sorry, not or the Eagles, right? You play three of those teams because if the 49ers win, they automatically play the Seahawks because they're the lowest seed, and you know what I mean. They go
Yeah, and
up. So like,
go on, play them. Yeah.
if the Panthers upset, right, or the Eagles win, right, like the Rams are the one I'm scared of, but like you possibly have another potentially winnable game at home,
Mm.
right, before possibly the NFC Championship game, right? So like
That's a
obviously, right,
tougher game, yeah, but
correct, but like take care of business as we discussed. Like go out there. Ben, you know how important this is. Caleb, you know how important this is to the city. You said you want to come here and be Chicago's guy.
like this
This
is the
is
game.
this is
That
it. This
this
is
is
it.
it. Yeah.
right? Like obviously, right? Like if I know people are like, "Oh, this is the Bears Super Bowl, this, that, and the other." Yeah, like if we beat our arch rivals
It
and we
is,
lose
yeah.
along the way and we knock them out and we still beat them, we have bragging rights for the next year. Of course, it's going to be important, right? Like that's outstanding. You know what I mean? So like, just get it done. You're talking this game all year. You're talking about bringing this culture, turning this organization around. It's on a fucking platter for you. Take it.
Mhm. I agree. I agree. That's what I said. Bears 24-23
Yeah. Oh,
over Green
bro.
Bay.
You might find me in the hospital with like a cardiac arrest, bro. Like I swear to God. Like,
I believe it. Yeah.
my mom wanted to come down this Saturday. I'm just like, hey, I know can't do. She's like, why? I'm like, I'm watching the game home alone. I told Crystal if she wants to
Yeah.
leave, she can. But I'm watching that game alone because I
It's
don't know
gonna
if I
be
can.
too,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
There's too much going on. Yeah,
I
I
don't
know.
know.
I feel you. I feel
My
you.
brother and my buddy are talking about possibly going. So
I might possibly go,
there's
but
there's a chance that I might get roped into that, but I hope not because anyway.
yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so speaking of playoffs, right? We want to go into just breaking down the wild card games. But before that, I found a stat I told you earlier, right? Like I went back to our
Hmm?
episode and the division winners, right? So we'll go through the AFC division winners, right? In the AFC West, right? The Broncos won, but when we had our predictions, Mondo, you chose the Chargers. I chose the Broncos.
Oh,
So
nice.
you know what I mean? But hey, both made the playoffs. Both were two of the best teams, right?
Mhm.
The East, we both said the Bills, but we both had the Pats at number two. I remember revisiting the episode, and we both talked about how the Pats were going to be back. All right, the Pats won the division, but hey, we were there, right? I
Over
mean,
there. Yeah.
AFC South, we both said the Texans, the Jags, obviously, and Trevor Lawrence have won that division, but Texans are in the playoffs, right? So hey, playoff teams were good still. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
AFC, the North. I said Bengals. No, you said Bengals, and I said Ravens. Believe it or not.
And the
And
Steelers
obviously
won.
the Pittsburgh Steelers won. But I will give you this. You said the Bengals are an asterisk because you didn't know if um, Henderson was going to be traded or not. So I will give you that. I will give you that. And then you said the Ravens number two. So more respectable in that one,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
So right, those were our winners for the AFC and the NFC. Right, I had the Lions winning the NFC North. You had the Bears. So kudos to you, sir. Kudos to you.
Hey.
Kudos to you. The South, we both had the Bucks. Obviously, the Panthers won that.
That
The
was
East,
insane.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was just dumb. The East, right? We both had the Eagles. I think that was a pretty lock. And then the West, it was the Seahawks. I think I chose the Rams, and I think I believed you chose the Rams as well. I wasn't
Mm.
that I couldn't really decipher it there because it was kind of scratchy. But yeah, I think it was the Rams. But anyway, we predicted all the playoff teams except the Panthers, and you know what I mean. So like, and the AFC North, so like we did pretty well, right?
That's actually really good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But speaking of those games, let's break down a little bit of those games and just kind of see who predict the winners of this round, right? So the first game on Saturday is the Rams and Panthers, and it's an enticing one because I know Panthers 8-9, blah 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 blah. But hey, they beat the Rams earlier at home too.
I would say I they the Panthers are frisky, but and I like their defense. I love their wide receiver, Tedero McMillan.
Oh, he's a dog.
He's a
Yeah,
dog. He's awesome.
yeah, he's a dog.
Um, I do like the Rams on the road though. Unless like if this is a cold game, because it I don't know how cold it gets
Yeah, but
in
Stafford's straight
Carolina.
in the colds. Like
I
he's
just feel
fine.
like it that's kind of like one of those games where things could get weird because
Sure.
when they lost, I think it was raining. So
Yeah,
like
yeah. No,
I
it's
could just
fair.
I could just see it getting weird. I would still pick the Rams in this one, and that's like my lock,
Right. Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah. My lock is the Rams. And my thing is it all come down to all come down to it's which Carolina Panthers team show up to play.
Hmm.
Is it the 8-win team or is it the 9-win team? 9 loss team, right? Like that's gonna come down to me. Is it the friskiness? Because if it's frisky, you can fuck around and upset the Rams, right? Like I know they're a 4 seed, this, that, and the other. The Rams are the favorite in this one, and I agree with you. I think the Rams go on the road and beat the Panthers and upset
And
them.
beat the Panthers.
Right.
Yeah.
Obviously, we
Mhm.
talked about the Bears and Packers, right? We said the Bears. This one's interesting. The Bills and Jags. This is a very, very interesting matchup for me. As much as I love Trevor Lawrence, and it's gonna sound crazy. This is the year for Josh. Mahomes is out, bro. You gotta take it.
Look, I'm on the opposite side. I
Ooh,
I
and I
like
love Trevor Lawrence. That's why I'm ooh.
I love the Jags, man. I love what they're doing. They got hot at like the perfect time. Their offense is clicking. Their defense
Mhm.
gets takeaways. They have a really good D line. Like to me, I pick I'm taking the Jaguars.
Mm,
Um,
mm,
and
mm.
Buffalo's just been like, I don't know, they've been so up and down. Like I just can't trust them anymore. So,
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
mhm.
This would be a fun one. The
Yeah,
Niners and the Eagles. That's also going to be a fun one. That's
potential
I
shootout.
yes, a potential shootout, or it's a
Yeah.
potential 13-3.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. It could be. I
I
Who are you taking?
fuck man, this one I sat here and I pondered for so long, bro, so long because the Eagles are at home on that defense, man. But like if George Kittle plays,
I would
I
expect
do
them to
believe the
play. Yeah.
49ers have a slight edge because I just don't know what offense is going to show up. Is it going to be Hurts firing around cylinders, Super Bowl Hurts, which is definitely possible, or is it going to be the one we have inconsistency all year? Right? They button some things up towards the end of the season, but like if George Kittle plays and he's 100% healthy, I have the 49ers sneaking out like a 1 point, 2 point game.
Mhm. I I agree with you. I'm going to take the Niners on this one. I think this is going to be another. You're going to see Kyle Shanahan just like work a masterpiece in this game. I just I don't trust. I I don't know how to feel about Philly's offense. Like their team as a whole is talented. Like
Yes.
they're really good. It's just I I don't know why they can't put it together or like what's been the issue. Um, but if Philly puts it together, like they're definitely gonna steamroll the Niners. That's kind of
Yeah. That's
it's
fair.
the
That's
it's
fair.
the asterisk. Yeah,
Right,
like
right,
yeah.
right. So far we've all three of the four games we picked together, right? We picked the same teams, right? The Jags and Bills. This one, Chargers, Patriots. This one, this one. Also, I sat there and said, I don't know because listen, it took me a while, but in the day it came down to the Pats winning because my thing is Justin Herbert. You have not shown me that you can win in the playoffs, and I know it's Drake May's first game, but until Justin Herbert can show you wins me in the playoffs, I'm going to go against him. So I think the Patriots win this game just on that fact.
This is tough. These are two really good coaches, really good quarterbacks. I would say shaky O lines.
But yeah, but the Patriots got their first round pick back. Campbell, I think it is.
Oh, Campbell.
Yeah.
Uh, the defenses are kind of ugly.
Right.
This
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
actually a shootout right here.
You think so?
Yeah, because I don't like either of their defenses.
Yeah.
I love their quarterbacks. Who the fuck am I gonna pay?
Yeah,
I'm
dude.
gonna
It's
take
it's
you know what? I'm gonna take the Chargers.
fine.
I I like I like Jim Harbaugh. I like I think I like their defense better than the Patriots.
Right. Right.
Uh,
Right.
New England's inexperienced other than the head coach.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I could just see an upset.
Yeah. Absolutely. And obviously the last one, I think we're both in agreement. I think the Texans take this one. That defense is just too good. The Steelers are just shaky on that offense, but I think the Texans just
Oh, yeah, their defense is gonna eat them alive.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, that's the playoffs. I'm excited. I can't wait to recap. Hopefully next week's win with this. I mean, I hope fingers crossed, right? Fingers crossed.
Hmm.
But yeah, thanks for joining us. And we'll see you next episode. Later, later.
Later.
Oop, why am I Sorry, bud.
Or you're good.
Sorry. Coolio.